Have you ever felt like you was like delayed from your goal? Like you have this mission to do something, to accomplish something, and it's like everything in its power is trying to stop you from doing the things that you said to do. If you see Peppa Pig in the back, daughter watching TV is all good. Anyway, right? So what I realized is that there's three reasons why we're not loving ourselves properly. And if you were to master these three things, you will be able to focus, not only focus, you'll be able to shift your perspective in life. You'll direct your energy, be intentional about where you're placing your energy. And you can be able to accomplish your goals and with more like affirmation and direction and just being fully focused. All right. So my first thing is emotional dependency. It's amazing how, as a kid, as a child, it's natural for us to want to be dependent on our parents, upbringing, childhood, friends, family, all that good stuff. We're dependent emotionally for others to make decisions for us, right? Whether we believe it or not, we've been programmed to behave a certain way because of our upbringing, right? And because of that, it's just a simple fact that we don't literally put in the time to gain our own identity until we get a little bit older, right? And when we become into relationships and stuff like that, it gets even worse because now we're dependent on the person in front of us to basically handle our emotions, B, tell us what to do with them, or C, all of the above. And when they kind of like leave us, we don't know how to make these decisions for ourselves. This is coming from a place not only that I understand and mastered it, but I also been, you know, a product of their environment. I also used to depend on others to make decisions for me. I used to also depend on, my partner to be like, hey, like, what do you think about this, that, and the third? And as I thought I was making decisions, it's really that I wasn't making these decisions. These are things I was programmed and wired to do regardless, whether my parents taught me it or life just taught me it in general, right? So I'm here to say, like, yo, you don't even have to behave those certain ways, especially if you want to accomplish something and make something out of yourself. You have to determine and think, like, yo, what is it that I'm really trying to accomplish? What am I trying to gain out of this life? What am I trying to gain out of this situation in front of me? You know what I mean? And we got to understand that, like, relationships is not all set to be like forever. So yes, you can be with somebody and you can learn a lot of things from people. I'm not going to take that away from people. But ultimately, we have to be able to be like, if this ends, I need to be able to take care of myself, not only financially, not only physically, but emotionally too. Like, I could pick myself up and go if that ever needed to be done. So yes. And that all ties into self-love because of the simple fact that it's like how you cannot love others, you cannot pour more into other people than you pour into yourself. Now, self-worth and identity. Like, I've been working on my identity, right? Because it's like, what do you believe things to be? And I feel like your identity can shift, right? Because at one point, I was like, I'm a doggy. I'm a dog. I'm gonna be out there. I'm gonna be a player. And that wasn't something I wanted to do. It was just something that I was taught to do. That was me. Like, that's how I protected myself, right? So I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be this kind of chick magnet dude. Get the women, and I'm gonna just like play these games and play mind games the same way they play mind games with us. Gift the gab, and that was my protection. That was my armor to protect me from being harmed. But what I realized is that the things that I wanted versus who I once was, they couldn't coexist together. I had to make a decision. I had to grow. I had to develop, and I had to learn new tricks. When you come in of age, even as a kid, whatever journey you are in your path, I feel like wherever you are in your journey, I should say, you have to determine where what you want to be and who you want to be and how you're going to lead with integrity or not, right? See, the funny thing about it is that, like, we don't usually think about the impact that our behaviors leave on others and how people look at us. Let me give you a prime example. I had a friend, right? And we not friends no more. We associates. We cool, but the friendship died, right? And then because of me, my behavior, right? I was telling my friend, I was like, yo, I cheated on my girl. Yeah. Okay, here, drink it. I was like, yeah, I cheated on my girl. And my friend was like to me, oh, well, why did you do that? And I was like, no, bro, like the honeys is out there and I just want to, like, it is what it is. It's just what it is, what it is. That friend cut me off instantly. And it wasn't abruptly. It wasn't like, oh, bro, you know what? I'm not going to talk to you because you did X, Y, and Z. It's because the person I was showing and displaying at that time, based on the story I gave, he didn't respect it, right? And it hurt, right? Because I'm like, yo, that's my friend. This is somebody I grew up with. Like, if you can catch me when I'm tripping, I'm one of those people that, like, we can talk and you could be like, yo, bro, you bugging. You should have never did that. That's a good girl. Whatever you would have said to me, I would have respected it than to walk away. But he chose that path, and that's cool. Like, it is what it is. But it taught me a valuable lesson. And it's like, even though we think that things is cool or we're programmed a certain way to behave a certain way for protection, the real people in front of you, they're going to see like, that's a red flag and I'm not going to put my energy around it. So, and that leaves people susceptible to judge you. Now, I don't care, like, what your thought process is on me then or now, because, it is what it is. But I do understand that what I was displaying wasn't that then I aligned with who I am today, right? And because it didn't align with who I am today, it leads me to know like I was in a lower vibrational energy. And who wants to be around an energy that's low vibrational? You know what I mean? It's different if you're not in a relationship and you're doing things like that. But if you're in a relationship and you saying you love this person, there's been some time and all of that stuff, don't be hurting people. That don't make no sense. And my third thing is like toxic patterns, which goes right back to what I was saying. Like, yo, when you see toxicity around the people, so for instance, I'm not even gonna give too much information, but I have a friend, right? And I kind of cut them off. And the reason why I cut them off is because the energy that they were giving and displaying was low vibrational, similar to the energy I was in the past, right? So that's probably why we was friends, because, when you're kids, you got that healing and you're like, oh, you know what? Toxicity seems cool. But when you 30 plus, toxicity don't seem that cool no more. So anyway, a brief story of it is the simple fact that it was just a lot of like negative DV going on within their dynamic, right? I'm not saying no names, I'm not pointing out situations or anything. I just feel like once I saw the fact that it was consistent, right? Because I understand we have mental health and we all gotta grow and we all gotta work on ourselves. I get that part, right? But if it's consistent, then if you're not going to get the help and you're blaming everybody else and not taking ownership for the shit that you're doing in your life, that's an issue and it's a red flag. And I can't be, it is so simple. It's like this. I could see or I could hear like, oh, you're doing X, Y, and Z to somebody. And then all of a sudden, here I go putting hands on my woman or something like that. Not saying that I would do that, but that's just saying that like I condone it. I don't condone it. I have a daughter. I have a mother. Grew up with nothing but women and one brother. Like, so I don't condone putting like harming a woman at all. Like, I don't respect it. So because I don't respect it, I had to let the person go. And I love them. Like, you know what I mean? I care for my friends like dearly. But until you get that help, you can't be around me because I don't need that energy around me because I'm trying to go to the next level. I'm not trying to stay stagnant or stuck or in low vibrational energy. Similar to the person in the past that did it to me. And the thing is that if anything, they did the right thing because I was able to grow and identify how to become a better person from it. So why am I saying all of this stuff to begin with, right? Self-love is the key to abundance.